Good morning, South Central Texas. Welcome to another weekly weather edition sponsored by WEITV, right here located in Boerne, Texas. It's great to be back from the living dead, as I was sick last Friday. Couldn't give you all our weekly weather forecast, so we're actually doing it this Monday. I'm going to be talking about last week, first of all, then we'll go into the weather forecast. So let's take a look at the Texas map in behind us. What we had earlier in the week, bubble of high pressure earlier last week, existed over primarily the whole part of Texas, where high temperatures got up into the hundreds, low temperatures in the 70s and 80s. A lot of humidity with southerly flow coming in from the Gulf of Mexico, and not a lot of activity. But change had come towards the middle part of last week. Tuesday, a big upper level low, which was way north of Texas, continued to move north of Texas and certainly away from Texas. But a big cold front had dragged all the way down into the Texas area. Now when I say cold front in this sense, I'm not talking about actual cold air in behind the cold front. It was just a lifting mechanism for some thunderstorms, and that's exactly what happened. As this cold front approached North Texas, a cluster of thunderstorms developed over that area, and they developed into a complex of thunderstorms and started to really organize into the northern portion of Texas initially. And the thunderstorms got strong. They dropped a lot of rainfall up in the northern portions around Dallas, areas like that. And they got so organized that they were actually able to move away from the source of movement and come actually southeastward into our portion of the hill country. And in fact, we actually got some rainfall well west of the I-35 corridor, which was not really anticipated early on. This occurred Tuesday night into early Wednesday morning. The thunderstorms continued to move early Wednesday morning towards the I-35 corridor, dropped 3+ inches of rainfall, let's say around the Austin area and northward, 2 inches between San Antonio in Austin, and a ½ inch plus in the San Antonio area, and some favorable rainfall across a good portion of the Texas Hill Country. In fact, the Edwards aquifer levels after the rainfall garnered well from the rainfall, and those levels lifted quite rapidly, a couple feet change in just a day time frame. So it was very beneficial rain. It certainly wasn't a drought buster. And okay, let's go ahead and take a look at the weather forecast. Last week when we were looking at the computer models were suggesting that a tropical wave was going to come into the southern part of the Gulf of Mexico and possibly affect the Texas Gulf Coast. Well, that was last week, and the models were far out in time predicting that this system could move into our part of the area and give us some beneficial rain. Unfortunately, the later models, as they've approached the actual event, they're still continuing to bring the tropical wave, but they're going to keep it way south, moving it into Mexico. And unfortunately, that does not spell a whole lot of rain availability for us in the hill country. This storm system, this tropical wave that I'm referring to, should come on board sometime towards late this weekend into Mexico. It's going to bring a lot of rain for parts of Brownsville, much southward. We're talking flooding rains in Mexico and things like that, and only a few showers widely scattered across deep South Texas, primarily from Highway 90 and south. Will we see a couple showers? Yeah, there's a possibility we might see some, let's say anywhere from this Thursday, Friday onward towards Monday. There's that very, very small chance we could see it. But unfortunately, the high pressure system, this bubble that we've been talking about, this ring of fire, is really going to be the main player for our weather, and it's going to keep us hot and dry. There's going to be a lot of moisture coming in off the Gulf of Mexico, which means it's also going to be very humid. Unfortunately, those molds are going to be high as well with all that moisture in place. And so those that suffer from allergies like myself may want to take a couple extra Zyrtec to help fight those effects. Anyway, we're looking at temperatures this coming weekend into the following week, anywhere from the upper 90s, the hundreds, lows in the 70s and 80s, a lot of humidity to be dealing with. Not much change in the weather pattern other than this dry this dry pattern. So the drought does really continue, unfortunately. Is there hope? Of course there always is. We're in a active tropical weather season. We'll take a look at the models over the next coming week and provide you with some updated information this Friday if we can get any more tropical rainfall or any other disturbance type of weather in our area. Thank you for joining us this week. Certainly thank you to the Kukaras program for providing the data on the rainfall network, for Westward for sponsoring this, and all of those fans out there that love WEI TV. We appreciate you and your comments, and we'll see you this Friday. Goodbye.